Hey everyone, Dr. Lisa here. So, in this vlog, I just wanted to connect with you because I noticed something being sick yesterday. Rare day that I was like down for the count. Went, got swabbed, everything. No matter what, even though I start my day in a certain way, the things going on in my body, I was feisty. I was fiery. I was fighting that virus. I was trying to listen to my body. I was doing a pretty good job of it. I was sleeping. I stayed in bed. I made that decision, entrepreneur life. I had the opportunity and I took it. Didn't feel guilty about it. Um, Felt really good actually, and slept and understood what was going on because the prices I was willing to pay for pushing it didn't add up yesterday morning. I just got too much that's going on in the next month in my life right now and things I want to do and people I want to be well for. Um, in conversations I'm planning to have and connections that I'm planning to have. It's starting to be nicer, pool weather around me. And it didn't make any sense. And so I took the opportunity and I was really feeling good about that. But something interesting happened, and maybe this happens to you as a strong person that battles with you know, probably if you're a curvy hustler, you've done that because you felt the pain of things like perfection. And you've been doing the personal evolution to try to put that at bay, recovering perfectionist, right? You've done the yoga, you've done the mind body work, you're maybe doing the meditation. Maybe you're just learning about it, you're not really disciplined or whatnot, but for the most part, self-help books, you're all into knowledge and discovery, you're all into setting up your environment for success. And you do battle with pushing yourself, not because you don't understand the logic, but because you, like me, understand how strong you are and have dealt with so many issues sometimes and are such a good crisis manager. Like you can do a lot with a little. But when you get used to that, it's sometimes difficult to realize when you're doing more than you need to until maybe you get sick or you get sick. But what I noticed yesterday is I was noticing this change change in my mindset suddenly around 4 or 5 o'clock, no matter how what I just said and how much I was on board with that and where my physiology and my psychology were meeting in the morning. That was very good for me. And probably because I start my morning with three things. I start most of my mornings with prayer. Okay, so my connection to source, that's what I define prayer as. And prayer to me is not me sitting there just asking. Okay, prayer to me is a two-way kind of thing where I might be praying and asking, but I also listen to good word or I try to read good word or something like that. That's all in my prayer things. I want to be receptive as well as expressive on that. And to some extent, I may do the meditation aspect. And sometimes when I'm listening to things that is almost like a channeling through me because I will ask source to I will say I have to go to church. And I'll pull and I'll say and connect and then I'll see what comes up on my feed and 99.9% of the time if I'm in my right mindset from doing my work and things like that internally, I had a good sleep, things like that, been eating okay. It's given to me. The second thing is then my affirmations. And so that is sometimes also my brain flossing. You might have seen me post on that sometimes on my social media at Dr. Lisa Holland PT or Lisette Alvarez Holland on Facebook. Um, the Instagram is at Dr. Lisa Holland PT. And that's when I'm using the music, the rhythm, the beats in my head to kind of like floss my brain, but also stating affirmations and saying them. saying them to myself so that I can hear and feel the vibration of my voice, taking ownership. And that's me working with my fifth chakra. You may have a different thing. And then the third thing that I do in that is usually I'll start sometimes channeling and writing. And a lot of times I will create posts and things like that that I then share that morning because I feel like things are coming through me for you, like this vlog. But if I don't necessarily feel well, and I noticed this yesterday, my physiology will cause me to kind of start screwing with how I was thinking. And so by 4 o'clock, I was feeling really restless. I was feeling really rajasic and restless. And I found myself beating myself up. And so I wanted to kind of put that out there that sometimes it's just misuse of your energy. There was nothing, it was just, I was just fighting something inside of me. And because I was so at peace, there was this mindset thing that was coming back at my weak point of perfectionism and feeling productive. And I wasn't really productive that day. Although I was actually feeling some, I had two clients in crisis that were from my executive jumpstart, from my leadership jumpstart, that needed to work through some processing of some realizations. And they were texting me and messaging me, and I was working through that. I didn't see it as I was beating myself up that I wasn't being productive because I was laying in my bed as I was doing these things. And then I had a turn of heart that I want to share with you. I did reach out to some support. I did get a different perspective. I think you need to do that. You need to mastermind for that. But after kind of letting that sit, I reframed it. And I think you need to do that too. I reframed it and I said, actually, how awesome is it that you could be servicing these two women, right? How awesome is it that I could get paid to be servicing these two women very easily? Didn't bother me, wasn't something I move my energy into that from bed when I'm sick. I mean, how many people wish they had a job like that? And then I also said, you know, you deserve to be allowed to lay in bed. And I went through some of the things I had been doing, and I kind of, rebranded. And as I reframed and reorganized and repositioned myself as being like kick ass for doing what I did. And I don't know if enough of us do that. So I wanted to send a little note when you're finding that, just understand when you're sick or when you're not eating right or sleeping or you're fighting something or something, the inner demons get a better readout on you and your own inner demons, not necessarily the enemy outside of you. It's the enemy within you. And you will tag yourself where your weakness is. And for me, it's been productivity. Like, am I being productive enough to be worth whatever it is I'm asking for in life? That's something that I've struggled with. Worth the effort. I know I'm worth it, but like worth the effort for other people, such as my clients, right? To get their act together, to work hard enough to save up money to work with me. And of course, I understand the answer is yes, because we get great outcomes. This is why we're working. They're getting realizations they haven't gotten from other people that they paid 5 times as much as they're paying me because it wasn't what they needed. But you can get into a place where you trick yourself and you sort of weaken your stance. And so I just want to throw that out to you to be mindful of that. That's just the Raja. Yoga, Vedic wisdoms, we call that the Raja. And the Pitta, the Pitta and the Raja, it's like kind of like that fiery element. That's sort of the stuff that's going to help with your any inflammations in any capacity of life. Irritating people, irritating conversations, anxiety a little bit is that as well. Anytime you're dealing with any of those forces of nature, that's going to be all in that same soup. And it's your job in leadership to be able to see it, identify it, understand and witness yourself, be able to step back and witness yourself, and then be able to curve and move in a different direction or at least make a decision not to. If you make the decision and just understand what you're doing. But I just want to throw that out there because it's really kind of, it's constant evolution. And then you elevate and you think the evolution's done and you just start on another level of evolution. So I get it. I want to put that out there in case you're dealing with it.